When you look at a piece of art that you've made, or someone else sees it, you don't think it's very good. You get very critical about it. You look down on yourself and you say, I'm not good enough. I can't get there. I'll never make it. I don't have those skills. I don't have that type of talent. They're born with talent. I don't have that. So there's no point in me trying. Or you tell yourself that because you're not there yet, that you'll never get there. Or that because there's something that they have that you're missing from your life that prevents you from getting to where you want to go. You get very critical about yourself. You start comparing yourself to everybody around you. You compare yourself to people that have been doing something longer than you. You start comparing yourself to people that might maybe have more talent or skills than you. But the number one most important thing is patience and hard work. Because someone that has all this talent, if they don't try, they're never really going to get there. You've got to make that first step. You want to be critical about yourself. You want to improve depending on where it is that you're wanting to go and what you're wanting to do. But you don't want to be so critical to the point to where you put yourself down. You tell yourself that you can't get there. You start comparing yourself to all these people that maybe they are talented, but so what? Why are you doing this in the first place? Why are you drawing? Why are you creating? What is the point of you painting, drawing, doing abstract, realism, all this work that you've put into it? You've put this much work into it to get this far. And then you want to compare yourself to people that maybe they have been doing it longer than you. But so what? The point of it isn't to try to be better than everybody else around you. The point of it isn't to try to be someone else. Just be yourself. Create what you want to create. Make your own style. Do it the way that you want to do it. The whole point of creating isn't to be the best. The point of it is to express yourself, to get ideas out there, to put yourself out there for the world to see. I'm more of an introverted person, but still, I take the ideas that are in my mind and I put it out there for the world to see. I'm expressing myself. I think a good way to put it is that, in a way, I'm socializing by taking my ideas, putting it onto paper, and other people see it. The point of me creating, the whole point of it, is not for fame, it's not for money, it's not to be popular, it's not to try to be better than other people. I'm taking what I'm doing now, what I'm doing today, and comparing it to what I was doing before. Am I improving? Am I getting better? Am I happy with what I'm creating? The point of it isn't to try to be better than everybody else, because you can only be as good as you are, and the only person you really want to compare yourself to is who you are and what you are, where you've came from, and how far you've come from before. But you don't want to only look back at the past. You want to look forward to the future, but do realize that here in this moment, with what you have, you can create, you can do better. And don't be so critical about what you're doing that you stop creating, that you give up. Pursue it because you want to do it for the fun of it, the creativity of it, to do something because you enjoy it, because it makes the day more interesting. There's more ways of being creative than only drawing. That's not just only one. You can do photography. There's all kinds of other creative ways. There's music, there's writing, making books, speeches. There's so many different things and ways to be creative, but I think a lot of people think of it as one thing. They think of art as something that's lumped up with creativity, and that creativity is, and that the only way to be creative is to be an artist. There are other ways to be creative. There are other paths. Maybe your path might not be in artwork. Maybe it's not with drawing. It might be a different avenue. Maybe it's photography. Maybe it's speaking, writing, singing. You never know until you try. So don't go trying to be better than everybody else. You can only be good as what you limit yourself to. So if you put in your mind that you'll never get there, if you put in your mind and you say to yourself that you're never going to be that good, that you don't have that talent, that I'll never get there because of some other excuse, then you've already lost. You've already lost that goal or that ambition or that idea. And you're not going to get there by having those type of thoughts, because what would the whole point of doing something be if it was just handed to you? Wouldn't that be boring if everything was just handed to you in life? I mean, isn't the whole point, or a large portion of the point of doing something, is overcome the obstacles on that journey to it? And all the obstacles you overcome that make you a stronger person, that help improve who you are, and that you look back on it and you have memories to look back on. Because it's not just about trying to be better than everybody. It's about the memories you create, having fun, expressing yourself, being creative, and just being in the moment and not being so worried about whether or not you're better than other people. So I know what it's like to be very critical of my own art, to be so critical to the point that I felt like burning all of my artwork. I felt like throwing it away, giving it up to somebody. I felt like I had no place with it, that it didn't deserve to be seen by anybody. But if I was to really follow through with that and to think that the things that I create have no value, then they never would. Because if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't share with other people and they don't see it, they're never going to know what it is that you're creating, what you're doing in this lifetime. Maybe in 1,000 years from now they might know of you, but the point of it isn't to try to leave a legacy. The point of it isn't trying to be famous or to be better than other people. Another point that I would like to make is that if you take it in the sense of taking art too serious, and what I mean by that is you're only focused on trying to improve. You want to have a balance on a lot of things. You want to improve. You want to get better, but you don't want to take it so serious to the point to where you're neglecting other parts of your life and your health, such as you're neglecting time with friends or family, or you're neglecting time with other things and activities that you could be doing in your life. If you're only focusing on one thing so much to the point where you're losing all that, you'll start losing creativity. Sure, you might get a little bit better, you might draw a little bit better faster, but then you start losing that creativity. Now, the way I see creativity is the things that you do in life and the experiences that you've been through that manifest themselves into you, into your mind, that are then expressed into your artwork. If you're not going anywhere or doing anything with your life, if you're not going out, simple things like going out and going for a walk, maybe you're a more extroverted person, and as an artist you need that connection with people to find that creativity. Maybe you're more introverted like me, and you just need to simply get outside and get into nature, sit down and think a little bit outside, and break the habit of doing the same thing every day. Do some things different, find that creativity, go out there, have fun, and keep creating. And don't give up just because you're not the best in the world. Because if that was the point, then there would only be one artist. Everybody would get up, they wouldn't even try, they would give up at the get-go, just because someone might have a little bit of talent. But keep trying, and don't give up. But at the same time, don't neglect your health. Don't neglect the life around you that is outside of what you're doing and creating, because that creativity is it's an expression of everything that you have in life, and that makes you what you are. So don't be so critical about yourself. Just go out there and have fun and keep on creating. You have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.